Hey guys, welcome back. Now it is time to attach our vertical stab to the airplane. So we already have this mechanism here that's just a screw that tightens up on the carbon fiber rod that goes down, but we need to now attach to the front side here. And the way that we're going to do that is there's a little hole right there that came pre-drilled from the factory, and I made one little modification to this. So it was just a hole that went straight through, and we're supposed to use a number 4 socket head sheet metal screw or machine screw. Local hobby store didn't have that, but they had number 2 socket head screws just like that. And actually this is a little bit better for what I wanted to do it for. So what I did is I took a drill bit that was the same size as the socket head itself, and then I drilled this hole on the top side so that the screw could actually pass through. Well, we don't want the screw to pass all the way through, otherwise obviously it's not going to hold it on there. So what I did is I plugged up, it's hollow on the inside here, and I plugged it up to about there, and then I filled the inside with epoxy and a little bit of the milled fiberglass. So once that started to set up, I took the screw here and then I put it in upside down just far enough that the head is recessed below the outline of the vertical stab there. So why did I do that? Well, I let the epoxy harden, and then I took and drilled a smaller hole so that when we put it in the right way, let's see if we can get a close-up here. So now that we've got the close-up established here, you can see that now it's solid epoxy on the inside, and when we put our screw in, it's going to be basically flush mounted, and it'll be below the outline of the vertical stab. So that was the first thing that I did in order to prep for what we're about to do. So the next thing that I needed to do is we go ahead and put this on. Just rest it in place here, how it's supposed to. Okay, so bam, now we've got it in the right location. So the next thing I did is I took a pin vise and a drill, and I marked, or I'm sorry, a drill bit, and I just marked right through the thin fiberglass here on the underside, and just went straight down. So that allows us for the next step, which is right here. I just took one of the little plywood blocks. This was supposed to be used for the servos, just a little servo mount, but I used just scrap that I had before because I apparently had lost these at the time. And I marked a center line so that way I can, when I'm putting this on the underside and gluing it in place, as long as I'm on that center line, I know that the screw, which will be going through like that, will be at least close enough to the center, you know, so I'm not getting off one of the edges or the other. So that's how I prepped this little bad boy. So now basically we're at the point that all I need to do is take some epoxy, and we'll take the epoxy and just cover this side thinly, and I'm just going to take it underneath from this side, line up the black line, and set it there in place, and let it dry. Once it dries, all we have to do is pop our screw in, and then just screw it in place. So let me go ahead and mix up a little bit of epoxy. I'll probably use high salt for this. That seems to work the best. And go ahead and do that and put this in place, and we'll be ready to go. So first thing we need to do is take off our vertical stab. Okay, so I've got you parked bird's eye view here, and so I've got the high saw right there. You can still see the black line through it, and we're going to go ahead and pop this underneath. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is take a piece of tape, just some masking tape, and put on the underside here, so that when I put it up inside there, it'll hold it in place. The high saw takes a little while for it to cure, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've just basically stuck this on a piece of tape. We're going to go ahead and put it on the inside, right underneath our hole here, and we just need to line up that black line. So let's do that. Okay, there we go, and can I see the black line? Not really. Okay, so the whole black line thing didn't really work, but I just felt my finger underneath there. It's pliable enough that you can kind of feel. So anyways, I'm confident that that is centered plenty good enough for what we need it to accomplish. So now we just need to wait to let that dry. Okay guys, good morning. So I have waited overnight for the high saw to dry, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put the vertical stab back on one more time, and I just want to pre-drill a little hole so that we know that we're going straight down into that wood. And we have to use my crappy little method here. I can't find my pin vise. Okay, so pretty much you get the idea there. We just need to pre-drill a little pilot hole before we do our screw. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut to the next scene here. Okay, I've got the hole pre-drilled, and now we're just going to put in our screw. This should be our final step. So let's do this. And I've got it zoomed in for you so you can kind of see what our recessed screw or the final result looks like. Alright, sweet. Okay, you guys, you know what? We are done with the vertical stab, so we can go ahead and cross that off our list of things to finish up.